and welcome to episode 223 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I'm Mags.
I'm Jack.
And we are a Dungeons & Dragons social commentary podcast where we focus on the social aspect of D&D.
We give our advice to dungeon masters and players old and new.
But most importantly, we believe in creating a safe, inclusive, and welcome space.
So that sounds good to you. Welcome in.
Come on in.
We've got to preface this with Margaret does have a little bit of a tickly cough still.
I do. I am still a little bit sick. I have been a lot of bit sick.
You've been
the
a lot.
past week.
You were rough this week.
I was really, really unwell this week.
Yeah, we had to cut the Patreon stream short on Tuesday.
We didn't play D&D on Wednesday. We didn't stream on Thursday.
Yesterday. So it was like 3 days. You were just like out of it.
Yeah, you know
but
what?
Last night you looked like you started feeling better.
Yeah, definitely, and it's because I haven't been talking. Like, there's been loads of things. I've got a cough, and I don't really know what the origin of the cough is, but I have a little bit of a cough, and I've kind of had some flu-like symptoms. I've been on my period. Boo.
So it's all just all added up to not a fun time.
Yeah, it's been a really rough week. So I have a really tickly cough, so I'm going to do the best I can. This is the first time I've properly, honestly spoken in 3 days.
Yeah, projected your voice to that degree because we haven't been streaming.
Yeah, I've been sat in voice chats with friends, but even then,
you don't talk constantly though.
No,
on voice chat.
No, I don't.
If you've got something to say, you maybe say yes.
Yeah. So I've been really unwell. So I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good. I actually feel fine now.
Now it's just the cough remaining.
Yeah, exactly.
So fingers crossed. Because the thing is, I think you had something like this before, and there was two possible things that they thought it was. It was
either my acid reflux, which I don't think it is this time because I haven't been having acid reflux at all, or it's my post-nasal drip, which is something that I've been taking a nose spray for. I've been taking some cough drops and
some delicious thyme-flavored cough drops.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh my god. So
the only cough I went to Tesco and you asked for cough drops.
Yeah.
And you were like, get these specific ones.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find them. Yeah. So I give you a call and I'm like, look, there's lozenges, but the only thing that says cough drops to fight a bad cough was the specific ones. And I picked them up. And Margaret's least favourite flavour on earth is thyme. Like the herb.
The herb.
Thyme.
I hate thyme.
And this thing is, it is thyme flavoured. And I was like,
with thyme. And he calls me and I'm like, don't get them. And he's like, Margaret.
They're the only ones.
And I think these are the real thing.
They're there to help fight bronchitis.
Yeah.
So
I've been having a real bad time.
Yeah.
Hey, on top of everything, I've been having a real bad time eating these thyme-flavored cough drops. So it's been a battlefield up in here. I'm not gonna lie.
So if I take a vast chunk of conversations in this podcast,
that's why. That is why. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. But
you can do your reading and stuff like that, and then I'll try and take the chunk of the commentary. Maybe.
Thank you. But I'm feeling good. This is the first day in honestly a week and a half that I felt normal.
Vibes are up.
Yeah, vibes are up. Vibes up. So good. And we're streaming tonight at the time we're filming as well.
I mean, we're streaming right now.
Yeah. So
it's still September. Come and join us.
Oh my gosh, yes it is.
We've hit so many goals. But we were gonna start this week implementing the goals, but then Margaret got sick, so we're gonna be. It doesn't matter when we get to the goals.
No. We'll get to them. Yeah,
but we're gonna get to them. But so still September.
Yep.
Get yourselves in there if you want to get yourself a sub. There's loads of people giving out subs very generously.
Yeah, there's so many fun goals as well.
Loads of fun activities. If you want to watch Margaret play Elden Ring, I'm sure that'll get. We'll get to that point.
Yeah.
If you want to see us do loads of different challenges and smash our passes or emo nights and stuff like that, come join us on stream.
Yeah, indeed.
Consider joining our Patreon.
Yes.
Consider doing things like that. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I've been playing a lot of Classic WoW.
Yeah, you have. You did the raid last night.
I've done my first raid in Classic WoW, which was Zul'Gurub, because you need no attunement for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get my attunement done. I joined a guild ages ago when I was leveling. I was leveling with this guy in Hinterlands, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to join my guild?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever," because nobody else was playing at that time. So I joined, and I've basically not done anything with the guild, but I got to level 60, and I was like, hey guys, got to level 60, what do I do? And they were like, you should start your attunements, and also join the Discord, because we do, raid nights and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then last night I logged in, and they were like, oh, is it Zul'Gurub tonight? And I was like, do I need an attunement for Zul'Gurub? And I looked and I didn't. I was like, is there any spaces left? And they were like, I think there's a couple. I joined the Discord, I signed up for Zul'Gurub, and I go and do my first classic raid.
Yep.
I jump in a voice chat with them. There was one guy who was a little strange.
Yeah.
I don't know what everyone's fixation online with as soon as you meet somebody and you can't see them, why people are like, how old are you?
Well, I know my reasons for why I want to know someone's age.
I get, but so like all of these people are old as fuck. All of these people are so old because we're all playing Classic WoW still.
Yeah.
And we get on the thing, and this guy was asking our raid lead how old he was, and he was like away and stuff like that. And it's just everyone's fascination with how old people are.
Yeah.
But he was fine. Our raid lead was really nice.
Good.
And
was the raid lead old?
Yeah, I think he was like 36 or something.
Got you.
So, even older than I.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good fun. I got a bunch of gear. I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to try and get my Blackwing Lair attunement done because they're supposed to be doing it on Sunday.
Nice.
And I want to go.
Yeah.
So I need to do Upper Blackrock Spire.
Yeah.
Before then, because that's how I get my attunement.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm going to try and look for a group for that tonight and tomorrow.
Nice. Nice.
So,
So good progress in WoW Classic.
Yeah, good progress. I've been doing some Ultric Valley as well to get some honor gear, but
Yeah.
God, I need to get 33,000 on it every week.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of
That's
honor.
that's a lot of honor.
I mean, it's probably about 10 battlegrounds.
Yeah. Well, you were in the chat talking about getting honorable kills, and you were like, I got 16 honorable kills, but it sounded like you said I got 16 horrible kills. Horrible kills.
Very horrible kills. What about you? What have you been doing?
Role playing.
Yeah.
I have found. I hope what is going to be a long-term roleplay partner. Their character is really nice.
Yeah.
And the character I'm playing, Lenore, she's not like a one-to-one for my D&D character. But she's really fond of
a similar ilk.
Yeah, she's really fond of his character, and he's really fond of her character, and they're just very respectful, and they're very respectful of my time, and they're very respectful of they're just a good roleplay partner, and they roleplay in exactly the way that I like.
Yeah.
And we're trying to work out now things for them to do. Like they're basically adventuring right now in the Dragon Isles, and it's kind of like working out things that they're going to do. And it's been really good. I joined a guild.
You did?
I was supposed to meet them, but I completely forgot.
Yeah.
And I messaged the guild leader. I'm not kidding you, like 1 a.m. being like, I am so sorry. I completely forgot I was meeting you today. And they were like, it's fine. Like if you're around now, like we could meet you now. And I was like, okay. And they were in the voice chat in the guild Discord. And I was like, do you want me to jump in the voice chat? And they were like, yeah, sure. Like if you want to, sure. So I was like, I was in the voice chat with you and a few other friends, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go say hi to them. I can do this. I'm okay. I'm gonna be all right. I'm brave. I'm nice. People like me. It's okay. I jumped to the voice chat. Hey, turns out totally normal people.
Yeah, just people.
Hey, turns out the second that I have a chance to introduce myself verbally, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm just really scared of introducing myself, like not verbally. So I don't know why. So I met my guild.
Yeah.
The premise of the guild is really interesting. It's about rebuilding a chapel in Duskwood, and it's all about kind of light and shadow and how the two kind of have to exist in harmony. And my character who I'm playing, her name is Leica, named after the dog that was sent to space, naturally, because I was like, this is a sad story, how can I make it sadder?
Yeah.
And she's a worgen, a werewolf, and she rejects that part of herself, and she tried to find many ways to come to peace with it. Many avenues in World of Warcraft in which worgen, is kind of adjacent to, and nothing worked for her, so she just said, fuck it, I'm just she just said, it's fine, I will just actually become faithful. I will turn to the light. And
have we not been going for 10 minutes yet?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we have a time.
We've
definitely been going for 10 minutes now.
Yeah, I think we've been going for exactly 10 minutes.
Well, I already saw, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's fine. So she met the guild leader, who was really nice. Met another player who was also really nice, obviously, and she's not initiated or anything yet. There's kind of ranks you have to climb in order to actually be accepted. It's socially into the guild. I'm in the guild physically. So yeah.
What's your guild name?
My guild name? Should I say it, do you think?
Yeah?
It's the Dusk Chapel.
Cool.
The Dusk
Do you
Chapel.
Do you want to know what the name of my guild is?
Go on. Go on. Go on.
There are 2 wolves inside of you.
Go on, yeah.
Tell my Wi-Fi lover.
As in
Wi-Fi.
What do you think? Yeah, we are on different ends of the WoW spectrum, I'm afraid.
I'm playing with all the boomers.
Yeah, and I'm pretending to be a Worgen in the woods.
Yeah. And that's just...
There's no in between.
There's so many different ways to play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, there really is. So I'm having a really great time. I hope I've made a long-term roleplay partner, and I've made a friend outside of that as well. Not the same people who I roleplay with every now and then. And I have my guild.
Yeah.
So I actually think that's already too many spinning plates for one person to manage.
I mean, it's good to have options to roleplay because they're not all going to be all on at the same time and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
So hopefully the guild is, fruitful.
Yeah,
for you.
I hope so. It sounds promising.
Yeah.
And they're kind of in the founding stages of the guild now.
Yeah, cool.
So there's not many people in there, which I prefer. I much prefer a smaller group of people. And, for events and stuff, like it's turn-based events with a roll system like a D20. There's modifiers like in D&D, which I'm really excited to get into if I come to those events, which the guildmaster last night, she said, like, you're very welcome to come to these if you would like to.
Cool, yeah.
So guild up.
Guild up.
Feeling pretty good. So that's all I've been doing. I've been sitting silently in my room listening to my friends have fun while I'm talking to people online, pretending to be a Worgen in the woods.
Up.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Gilded up. Precisely.
Gilded up.
So, shall we get into today's topic?
Yeah. Thank you so much to all our patrons and YouTube members.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
Gain exclusive access either on Patreon or become a channel member here on YouTube for perks like channel badges and emotes on YouTube.
You get 2 extra and exclusive monthly live streams, including a roundtable with a cast of our D&D actual play, The Ascension of Farador, for all of your burning questions.
As well as an intimate D&D advice live stream where we can answer your D&D questions in depth and one-on-one.
If you would like to support us directly and gain access to these perks, check the link in the description to go to our Patreon or simply click the join button here on YouTube.
Thank you.
So, we are doing the best of the D&D subreddit today.
Go.
There's some pretty good ones in here. This is kind of more of a jovial one, and the last one's really good. So, let's start at the beginning. Let's start chronologically.
In the beginning.
The first post is, what are some yellow flags you look for in players and DMs?
Okay, yellow flags. And is that like a...
Yeah, the
things that I maybe am worried about, but it's not enough to make me quit the game?
Yes,
maybe
totally.
Like okay.
Totally. Like things that don't make you immediately nope out of the campaign, but absolutely catch your attitude and have you make a mental note to watch out for that person's attitude or behavior going forward.
Okay.
Do you have any before I get into them?
God, any yellow flags? God, I don't really know. Stealing.
Yeah.
I think stealing is a big yellow flag.
Stealing from, in general, or stealing from the party?
I think the whole point is stealing in general, because what if it turns on the party?
Yeah.
I think as well, you can actually steal from the party and it not be dreadful.
Absolutely.
Ashton and Fern, very much exactly how it can be done right and playful
absolutely.
and fun.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that. But stealing is a big yellow flag for me.
Yeah.
A yellow flag that will turn into a red flag eventually is time management.
Yes.
Out of game time management.
100%.
If you can't turn up on time or you're late all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I also think that could go the other way too, though. I also think there's a potential for that yellow flag to turn to a green flag.
Yeah.
With the correct amount of communication and the correct... I think, honestly, any flag could turn into...
Also, I know that it's maybe not as frowned upon because it doesn't happen as much. Turning up too early.
Yeah, fair.
Turning up too early is a bit of a yellow flag for me because like if I'm cleaning, because we have D&D at our house, if I'm cleaning the house and you turned up when I'm like mid cleaning in the house and stuff like that, I'd be like,
yes, I agree. No, I agree.
So time management's a big one for me.
Yeah, that's fair. What
about you?
This actually kind of skirts into red flag.
Yeah.
But I also think again, with correct kind of management of expectations, this could be different. The player who comes in with I'm a god killer, I've lived for thousands of years and I've killed gods and I was an all-powerful being, but I I've been wiped back to level 1 now.
Yeah.
I think that could.
I think it can be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I'm putting it in yellow as opposed to red. I don't know. That teeters into red for me, to be honest.
Yeah, because so many people do it wrong.
Yeah, with communication, of course, like anything could go.
But I think it can actually be a really sick character.
Yeah.
I think if you play it well and you have absolutely been sapped of your power and maybe some of your memories and stuff like that, and you want to like take that road back.
Yeah, you could
that
be
could be a really interesting journey.
I think it could be a really useful tool for the DM as well to be able to hit on some story beats about like world history or events
that maybe some people wouldn't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's kind of my main one.
Okay, cool.
But some of the examples are any player that says, all my past groups have been terrible. I've never made it more than 4 sessions at one table. The last game I ran, I had one of those players. They were so enthusiastic. They seemed great in session 0, but as soon as we started playing, the raging main character syndrome became immediately obvious. They really seemed to think that they were playing a single player NPC party style game. Fascinating. I intervened gently during the first game, pausing them and asking the other players what they thought, hoping with enough early guidance that they would settle in. Alas, no. Even with a strong talking to, they once again didn't make it past 4 sessions at a table because they were booted in the middle of the second.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. See, that's like the thing. It's like, at what point does so many things around you?
Do you go, oh, maybe I'm the drama?
That's it. It's like how many times can things around you go wrong without you going, am I the problem?
Just a bit of self-reflection.
Yeah. Is it me? Mm-hmm. Like, am I the reason these games fail? Because I've been in 4 now that have failed for the exact same reasons.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Look, there's a lot of horrendous D&D tables out there, like truly. And you know, it just because.
Just because those 4 tables have failed doesn't mean it's for this exact reason.
It doesn't mean it's correlated to you. However, look, there has to come a point where things happen in a pattern, you know, especially if it's for the same reasons, where you have to go, am I the problem?
Is it me?
Am I the problem here?
Yeah.
Am I the problem? And then to have the DM talk to you gently as well, and then for nothing to change. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think and like main character syndrome is one thing that is really tough to get past, because most of the time people who do it don't realize they're doing it.
Totally.
And then when you call them out on it, it's immediately backup defense mechanism.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like it is if somebody at your table is able to overcome main character syndrome, I think they'll be able to overcome pretty much any problem at your table. Because it's one of the hardest things to accept that you've done wrong and then be able to change it.
I completely agree. I agree. But I think anyone who kind of comes into a D&D game, like, I don't know, anyone who kind of wears like drama first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you meet someone new and the first thing they want to do is talk about, I think that's just a red flag actually, when someone, the first thing they want to do is talk about how bad another DM was or how bad another player was. You know, obviously that's within limits, right?
Yeah, you know,
like I
sometimes
believe,
they are pretty atrocious and you do, you know, you almost want like clarification.
Yeah, we read horror stories out for a living. Do you know what know what I mean? Like there's obviously a limit, but like, you know, when someone's like, oh yeah, this DM and they wouldn't let my character do this thing, or oh yeah, this DM they I don't know. Like I think that could easily go into red flag territory.
I agree.
I think as well, like just because someone has had bad experiences doesn't mean that they are the drama.
But I think if things keep going wrong around you, taking a second, you might not even be the problem. But take a second to be like, definitely. Did I do anything wrong? Yeah. Could I do anything better?
Yeah.
Is always a good thing. And I think that's important in almost every walk of life.
Yeah.
I think being able to, you know, look at a situation and then say, how could I have done this better? I've done it so much with dungeon mastering. I did it in campaign 2 in particular, where something didn't quite go how I wanted it to, and I've like turned it inwards and looked at myself and gone, how can I tackle that better? And I've had numerous moments since, like that moment, where I've just tackled it so much better. Yeah. And I've played out those basically exact situations in other campaigns, and they've gone way better. Yeah. Almost perfectly. Yeah. But that's also because I you know, take the reins off a little bit. Yeah, like, I don't think I'm a great dungeon master pre-planning everything. So then I think I've just looked inwards and gone, why did it go wrong? Yeah. It's maybe not even what I did. I think it's how I'm trying to run the game.
Yeah, totally.
So Yeah, looking inwards is always a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. And, again, I can't make it clear enough. Just because people treat you badly and you've had bad things happen to you doesn't mean that you're the drama. That's not what I'm saying, but,
But I don't think it's ever a bad thing to look inwards.
I agree. Yeah. The next one is hearing a DM that likes to play with a party a lot by having them travel with leveled up PCs that they have created to join the party for extended durations.
So DMPCs.
Yeah, DMPCs. Yeah.
So DMPCs.
Yeah. And again, I think again it's such a yellow flag sometimes because your party could love that.
Yeah. And we've talked about DMPCs a lot on this podcast, and I think there's a number of things that DMPCs are fine, but when they're higher level, more info. It's like the NPCs are going to have information that you don't have because they're usually quest givers, which is how you get onto like plot threads and how you find things out and stuff like that. But them having all the answers, be higher level, kill all the monsters, do all the cool things, crack all the plots. It's just like you're basically telling your own narrative
with yourself.
Yeah,
I agree.
Instead of letting the players do it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think a lot of times when it comes to DMPC, it's because a dungeon master doesn't trust that their party is going to be able to do the campaign.
Yeah, honestly, the DM just kind of misses playing, being a player, I think. And I honestly, like, if you were to do this, if you were to suddenly have an NPC come with us for an extended duration, we'd be overjoyed. Like, our party would love having an NPC join us for an extended duration.
What I always do with a DMPC is, like, if they're going to join the party for an adventure, they don't really say anything unless they're spoken to.
Yes.
Because I don't want them to overwhelm the narrative.
Yeah.
They are normally built as a support class.
Yeah.
So I don't usually ever get a killing blow.
Yeah.
And I barely ever really roll that many attacks. Yeah. I'll usually try and
I think you often give us the choice as well. You go, this character could do this or this in this situation. Which would you prefer?
Yeah.
Which is something we really enjoy. But I can also see a world in which, the DM who maybe feels left out from is wearing the DM hat so much they feel like so disconnected from the party, where they just want to kind of feel connected to them again. And I actually feel very much for a DM maybe in that position.
Yeah, there's a lot of dungeon masters who don't really want to be.
I'm worried I didn't press record. I didn't I? Okay,
I can see it.
All right, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Yeah,
it's recording.
Yeah. All right. Good.
There's a lot of dungeon masters out there who don't want to be dungeon masters, but are.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of friends in that exact situation.
Yeah.
Who would just love to be a player.
Yeah.
And I think there's sometimes where you do that a little bit, where you put an insert in there to be like, oh man, I just want to be able to feel like I'm creating a character again, and I've got choices and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
But it never truly feels the same.
Yeah.
Unless you're an actual PC.
Yeah. 100%.
As a dungeon master, you always know what's going to go on.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
You've written the story.
Yeah.
So it's a yellow flag because it can be totally fine.
Yeah, but it also can be a nightmare.
Again, I put DMPCs in there, and they are there to purely help and to not drive the narrative and not solve the problems.
Matters.
Yeah,
I think any of these, the intention matters, right?
I agree.
The next one is a DM that keeps talking about how dark, grim, serious, hardcore, mature, etc. that their game is.
Yeah, it's very yellow flag coded.
Yeah, because the thing is, making people know what your game is about is important.
A good thing. Yeah.
Letting people know that there is mature themes, there is serious, dark themes, is like mandatory, I believe. I think that's such an important thing to tell your players.
But I think you need to then elaborate slightly. I think if that's all you're giving me, I'm worried because you're not actually telling me what the serious topics are.
I know, I agree. And it's a really hardcore, mature game. Like your mind does go to some of the worst parts out of pure just God, what are they going to do?
Cynical mindset.
Yeah, totally. And
lack of faith in people.
Yeah, exactly. And that when I hear that, the alarm bells are ringing.
Yeah.
And it's when I think it depends how they say it. Are they saying it in a taunting way, being like,
ooh, it's gonna be I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, I said this very much in my second campaign. I was like, my third campaign. I was like, I am going to run a pretty miserable story.
Yeah.
A pretty sad, miserable story that's gonna have a lot of like dark themes in it. It's gonna have a very dark overtone to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like it was just genuinely because a fallen city and you were going back in and there was a lot of people who had been changed by this stuff and a lot of people who had been like taken by whatever, and it was a very heavy tone of a campaign.
But I think that's the important context.
You hear those things as to why it's a dark campaign, why it's miserable.
It's kind of giving you have no idea what a little look into my sick, twisted mind. It could fall into that territory very easy. And I don't think it's a red flag, but I think
it's not a red flag because if after they say that and you say, okay, what themes?
Yeah,
and they go, oh yeah, like X, Y, and Z, and then you're like, okay, not for me, or oh, that actually sounds really interesting. I hope like we tackle it, with care and stuff like that, because that's the thing when it comes to like dark themes. I believe that as long as you are doing it with the right intentions and for the right reasons, you can tackle some actually heavy topics in game.
I agree. I agree. It's intention, isn't it?
Not just to do it
not
for
to
the
be shocking
sake of it.
Yeah, exactly. Not to be shocking.
That's when it becomes worthless and pointless.
Yeah, totally. I agree. The last one and in this topic is a player that says, I've been wanting to play this character forever. I've been thinking about their arc for years and years, and here is my detailed art of their 16 extended family members. Some of these are great, but many of them are problematic for one reason or another. If someone's character has a substantial backstory / lore that wasn't designed with this specific campaign in mind, it can just be asking for trouble. And I've had really frustrating experiences with players who are deeply set in their pre-designed original character in a way that makes them very unwilling to change their plans or meaningfully react to the story of the campaign as it plays out. Also, main character syndrome warning. Yeah,
so to me, this for me, and this is just for me, and I want to be very, very clear here, this is just for me, because I think I have quite a hot take on this.
Yeah.
If this player comes to my table, I'm probably not going to be the dungeon master for you.
Yeah.
Because I need my players to be able to relinquish a portion of their backstory to me.
Yeah.
Because I do like to surprise people.
Yeah. Yes.
I do like to weave them into the narrative.
Yeah.
If you come to my table and you say, this is my character, this is their extensive backstory, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then you say, and this is what I want to happen to them, I'm uninterested.
Yeah.
Because if I can't have a ounce of say in your backstory, or I can't surprise you in any way, I'm uninterested in running a game for you. Because that's how I get kicks at the game. Like I like to, I want an unfinished backstory.
Yeah.
I want, this is the journey so far. These are the things that have happened to me. This is a bit of a strange thing that's going on. Take it away.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I need.
Yeah. At the same time, though, even if, I came to you saying, these are the things I want to hit on.
Oh, I'm totally fine with like notes.
Yeah. Like
this is where I want it to go.
I think when you say, like, if someone said, this is what I want for my character, and you'd say no, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think I've been very open with what I want for my character, Lenore, my character in Farador. And I go, these are the themes that are important to her. This is kind of what I want her to adapt and overcome to. And this is kind of where I want her to end up.
Yeah.
And you're very happy to work within those parameters.
Yeah, but let's take your so far everything that you know, there's something going on in your backstory.
Yeah.
You got no clue.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah. And that's what excites me as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people. And, this isn't, any shade to anyone. Like, there's a lot of people who want to know exactly what's going to happen in the backstory.
Yeah.
And you just wouldn't be the player for me.
Yeah, I also think that's a very valid play style, but I also think, like what OP has said here, like, when you are so unwilling to adapt or honestly, meaningfully react to story beats that don't exactly work in tandem with your pre-designed outcome of what happens, like that's when it gets really hard. And I actually really don't like it when people say, like, just go write a book, dude. But I think this is an example of, people say that to DMs all the time. Just go write a book, which I don't think is wrong. I think
there's some
no, there is. But I also think a player like this would actually have a far better time doing something for themselves like that.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what I mean. It's like, you can come to me with a really lengthy backstory.
Yeah.
But as long as it's open-ended.
Yeah.
and you are happy for me to have a bit of creative control.
Yeah.
It's like I want the story to go in a direction that you're interested in.
Mm.
I don't want you to be uninterested in the game. I want you to, I'll get this massive lengthy backstory. Let's just say it's like 16-page backstory, and I'm like, okay, perfect. Now, what are a couple of things from this backstory that you want me to really hone in on? Because I couldn't possibly hone in on 16 pages. That's too much for me.
Yes.
So give me 2-3 things maximum that you want me to hone in on.
Yeah.
And sort of where do you see it going? Give me a couple of avenues, because I want to be able to take it and surprise you and, have a mystery for you to unfold. And that's what I mean. It's just like, and I understand that that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But for me as a dungeon master, that's what I need.
Yeah. And I also think, the 16 extended family members, I also think that's fine as well.
That's fine.
Like, I think that's fine.
As long as you know that I'm probably not going to touch on all 16 members.
I think all of that is fine. Hence why this is probably a yellow flag, right?
Yeah,
Having all that information
is
fine. It's if you expect and demand your dungeon master to
include all 16 extended members of the family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you expect your dungeon master to basically play out your story script, like word by word as a script, I think that's where it can be differentiated
that's a red flag
from.
For me,
because I think having an extensive backstory is fine. I think
it's fine.
You as a player knowing everything about your character is great. But I think also, we've said this before, when you present it to the dungeon master, how I present it is I go, this is what's happened. This is what she's going through right now. This is where I want her to end up. And that's kind of...
And fill in the blanks.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what your dungeon master's going to do, is going to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
I
think it could very easily go one way or the other.
It could so easily go both ways, because if you bring me a 16-page backstory with all of like your family tree and it's like 7 million words and stuff like that, and I go, cool, amazing, thank you so much. Now, like, what are some of the things that you really want to focus on here? And then you go, I want to focus on 1, 2, 3, and I go, perfect.
Yeah.
Any particular themes? Like, where do you want to end up?
Mm-hmm.
And you give me some great themes and where you want to end up, and I go, amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, that backstory is great. That's so much context for you to react to situations and talk about that at the campsite with the other players, and really like relate to other people and be able to flesh things out. Amazing.
Yeah.
But you can't expect me to use that all.
Yeah, and there are some DMs who would, but I think like
I think a lot of that'll be a lot for any dungeon master.
It would be a lot. And I think that is the expectation. I think
that's a real yellow flag.
Yeah,
real yellow flag energy.
Yeah. So the next post, moving on from that, is the next post is titled "My players like to feel like they got me, and I'm okay with that." So this is just sort of a player appreciation post, which feels rare compared to some people griping about their players. But luckily, I have awesome players. But anyway, context: I put my players in a cave that had a bunch of loot behind a locked door and a whole bunch of skeletons on the floor. Shocker, they go to pick up the loot, the skeletons get up and they attack. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty sure my players can see this coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
So they send in the barbarian, they have him pick up the treasure, skeleton.jpg triggers, and the bard casts Shatter, gets all the skelly bobs in one clap, blows them all to bits, and the barbarian even clears his save. Nice. Sorry.
Okay.
After all is said and done, they get the loot, and I give a little non-committal, well, damn, okay, and they instantly feel like they have won. They say, I bet you weren't expecting it to be so easy, DM, and I just kind of smile and I shrug behind the screen. Oh, but I did, dear player. I did expect it to be that easy. When I built that encounter, I thought of how cool it would be if I felt how cool the bard would feel destroying 10 skeletons with one spell, and how cool the barbarian would feel when the spell that just obliterated the enemies around him basically bounced off of him. I love stuff like this. It's what makes D&D special to me. Do you guys have any DM stories that are similar?
That's the thing. Like, there's when my players play a fight really well, when they overcome a like really difficult combat that I put in front of them, and they think of a really smart way that I think is really cool. It's like in the last fight that we had in the campaign where everything was going wrong and they needed to get rid of an egg.
Yeah.
They put it in their bag of holding. They do enough damage to it. I said that 50 points of damage would be enough. Mm-hmm. I didn't say that out loud, but that's what I said in my head. They attack the bag of holding. They send this egg to the astral sea. It's done. It's out of the combat. They spent their action economy. They got rid of their bag of holding, and they got rid of it because they knew they were in a bad situation and they needed to do something about it. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just got to go. You just got to roll with it.
Yeah. Sometimes there isn't a viable solution until there is, you know?
And sometimes, like, if... Matthew's always the third objective guy.
Yeah.
So when he goes and deals with the third objective and spends spell slots on it and does really good checks, and
we call it a third. Sorry, we call it a third objective. Is there a reason why we call it a third objective?
Because it's one team fights other team. So there's your two forces smashing against each other, and then there's the third objective.
I see.
But the extra objective, if you want to call it, whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes he just thinks of really fun things, and I'm like, great.
He does.
Like that works. And actually, now you're swinging the combat in your favor.
I think it's nice to know that he thinks about it as well, though. I think, and you can tell that this is something that he'd considered, and something that he'd had in the back of his mind. And I think it's nice to know that your players are thinking.
And he always wants to, cast haste on Josh, or he wants to enlarge you, and stuff like that. And there's so many times where he does something and it maybe takes a round or two, and it maybe feels like he hasn't done much of the first 2 rounds, and then he does something that sways the combat.
Totally, yeah,
but
absolutely.
This whole time, all he's doing is making the fight easier for
everyone else.
You, Josh, and Abby.
He blesses. He blesses us.
To just wreck the enemies. So then, like, whatever he does might give you extra damage.
Absolutely.
Whatever he does might buff you and stuff like that. And that's just fun to do. And the thing is, like, what's the point in putting a combat in if it's not to be defeated?
Yeah.
What's the point in putting a puzzle in if it doesn't get
solved? Yeah.
And, it's like, you give the paladin the holy weapon and the holy avenger.
Yeah, and they go up against the undead.
Here's a vampire castle for you to just slaughter your way through. And the thing is, Josh talks about that. He was a paladin who made holy water.
Yep.
We went to a vampire castle, and he was a nuclear bomb.
And he talks about it now. And that was 3 years ago?
He still talks about it now because it made him feel so good. And it made him feel really special.
Yeah, and I think, that obviously is a sign of being a great dungeon master. And I think this is a sign of being a great... Like, OP, this is you being a great dungeon master. And we say it all the time, why do we play D&D? To have fun. We play D&D to have a good time. And if it's important that there's give and take, and I can see it here. I can see the players thinking, barbarian goes in, the bad cast shatter. I can see they're thinking about their options here, and for the dungeon master to preempt that and be like, this is going to be really fun because I know my players and I know their abilities and I know what they want to do.
Like you put all the skelly-bobs, all the skeletons run in, and then the cleric turns undead, and then all the skeletons turn around and run away. It's
totally.
Like the cleric feels unreal.
Yeah, and I think that's a good synergy as well. It's good synergy for OP to go, wow, this is going to be fucking fun, actually. Yeah. And then for it actually to be fun because they know their players.
It's like the ranger picks a favoured enemy in a favoured terrain, and then they walk into that favoured terrain, and then they see the tracks of their favoured enemy. It's just like, the rangers sat there like, this is the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
The dungeon master has thought about me and put something in that I can really be special at. It's like Laura playing Vexalia in campaign 1. My favorite enemy is a dragon because a dragon murdered my mother. So there's literally an entire conclave of dragons for her to fight.
Yeah, see, like, that's sick.
That's Matt is going, okay, like Ranger is particularly in 5e when it first came out, not the strongest.
Yes.
How can I make it really fun for you to play?
Yeah,
and that's how you do it.
Yeah, I agree.
And not every fight has to be like this.
No, of course. If every fight was like this, it would be boring. It would defeat the purpose.
But sometimes, and the perfect time to do it is when you're traveling.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
When you're traveling and you have those combats on a night time
where everything
where the players can just drop every spell because they know they're about to long rest. It feels good.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And I also think it's a bit of a selfless act, this as well.
Yeah.
Sitting there as the dungeon master and the players going, God, I bet you weren't expecting that to be so easy, and you're sat there going, God, but you've actually engineered it so your players could have fun.
Yeah, so they can have fun.
It's almost like a thankless action, you know. Not thankless in the fact that your players obviously loved it, but you know what I mean. It's
that's it. It's I think,
and people this is why people like this should be DMs, not people who want to make it as hard as possible. People who want to one up their players, people who are against their players,
and you can make it as hard as possible. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, people who who don't want their players to succeed.
That's it. You have to, at the end of the day, at the end of the session, at the end of the combat, at the end of the quest line, at the end of the mystery, at the end of the puzzle, your players are meant to succeed. Yeah. So if you can't handle that, you shouldn't be a dungeon master. I completely
agree. Yeah, I absolutely completely agree. You can't celebrate with them.
If when they get a crit at your table, you don't go, let's go. Yeah. Like if you're not on that team, you aren't going to be a good dungeon master.
I agree.
Like if you every time they get a crit, you're like smacking your hand on the table or like being frustrated. Yeah. Like you shouldn't be a dungeon master.
I agree. I agree. I think that was a really, really fun one.
That is a good one.
The next one is titled, Is It Just Me or Is Low Level Play Better Than High Level Play?
Yes.
At low levels, every fight feels dangerous. Goblins can kill you. Healing spells feel huge and players have to be smart to survive. The game feels tense and exciting because every choice matters. Once you get to higher levels, things start to get messy. Characters can fly, teleport, drop massive spells that can end fights in literal seconds. Combat becomes less about teamwork and more about who can throw the biggest spell first. Most campaigns never reach high levels anyway. Yeah. The game feels most balanced and fun between levels 1 and 8. You're strong enough to feel heroic, but still weak enough to feel that the world is dangerous.
Yeah.
I agree.
I couldn't agree anymore.
I completely agree.
I couldn't agree anymore. Like the things that matter at the beginning just don't matter towards the end. It's just like, when you are one of the biggest one that always gets me is travel.
Yes.
Like, and when you get to that new city and you're meeting people for the first time and you're traveling the landscape and you're thinking about what is here, what is there, and how we're going to do this and the people that we're going to like meet along the way and stuff like that. But by the end of the game, when you just teleport from one place to another, like, and hey, I'm a dungeon master who doesn't like travel. But when you do travel and you do meet those NPCs and you do make those allies and you do make those friends, it's not saying that you don't get that towards the end of the game, but you take a vast chunk of that out, teleporting from point A to point B, instead of that journey along the way and learning about the architecture and the infrastructure and the landscape and the lore of it all as you're seeing it, as you're walking through it, that just leaves. Yeah. And you're right. Like when you can just be like, hey, I do 100 points of damage every single turn. It becomes. See, I don't really particularly like this phrase, but it becomes more of a arms race. It becomes more of a
who can kill who first?
What's it called? Rocket tag.
Yeah.
It's like, can I blast you with my spell before you can blast me with my spell?
Yeah.
And then you just need to put hundreds of hit points on. Yeah. And then you get into the legendary resistances have always been a controversial thing, and every single enemy at that point's got legendary resistances.
Yeah.
So I get it. I agree. I prefer the first. I don't even mind up to level 10.
Yeah,
like 1 to 10 is way better than like 11 to 20.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I think for me, the best levels are around 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Because I typically play a martial character, and that's when you get like a second attack, and that's kind of when if you have spells, you get 3rd level spells, and I think that's my favorite levels to play it around in is like 5, 6. And I agree. I really like the way that OP worded this. You're strong enough to feel heroic, but you're still weak enough that the world is scary and tough. And I agree. I think
when you've got so much gold from adventuring and got countless ways to revivify or resurrect or true resurrect and stuff like that, like death just becomes inconsequential.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter how you died, I'll bring you back. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, at the beginning of the game where you've got your first gem, and then if you play the rules where you have to roll, like, there's such a chance that when you go down and this just
happened to us in Farador as well.
It's like, it was up to a roll of a dice.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in your favor, but it was still up to a roll of a dice whether, one of our players gets resurrected. So, I completely agree.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
As a dungeon master, it becomes way harder to handle.
I can imagine.
Menial puzzles and like things in your way at the beginning that you got to think of creative ways to overcome. At the end of the game, you just I just teleport past it.
Yeah. I
just cast seeming and we look.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes players don't have to think as much.
Yeah. No, I agree. And some of the comments on this were like, man, I understand what you're saying, but every campaign I've ever played in has died before those high levels, and I would love to experience high level. And I agree. I think experiencing a high level campaign, like in a one shot or like a small campaign, would be so fun. But I think, I mean, I hope that we get to high level. I think we campaign. Will. I hope we do.
I think in this campaign, I think we're shooting for about 15.
Yeah, but I think it's a different level of play. It's a different. It's just different. It's different at those higher levels than it is kind of when you're the plebs. Kind of. Yeah. Well, not plebs. You're still better than the average human. But I agree. I think that's a really, and I love a beginning of a story too. Yeah. The next one is titled, Everyone wants to play, but no one wants to be a player. I've been DMing for a group and we've done about 8 sessions. Maybe this is more of a society problem than a D&D problem, but it feels like something has so obviously shifted and people are just here to take with no thought People are here to just take with no thought that they have to give back. I spend hours of my week prepping scenes and I get back half-assed roleplay. This was after my campaign was billed as for experienced roleplayers because it is roleplay heavy. My computer always has 100 tabs open researching and writing fun ways to make exploration and little side encounters for players that don't know their character sheets. I have content sharing on for everything and they can go and read anything their hearts desires in the time between the games. I'm looking up icebreaker questions and trying to connect the group over more than just the game for people who haven't asked me a single fucking personal question. This is after screening, after session 0, and after a playtest with everyone together. It was like the second they were in, they all just stopped trying. And now that this is just something to do for a few hours a week. I'm not asking for Shakespearean theatre, but the game is just so above table. After I've asked more than once for people to get into character, I feel like I'm just playing a board game with strangers and not actually even telling a story. And now it seems like every group wants to be some comedy club or freaking riffing contest, and they only have creativity for their character being a dumbass. Just go do improv or stand up instead. What is going on? When time is up, people just run out of the door. There's no lingering, there's no thanks, there's no feedback. 3 characters I have no idea how to write for because they refuse to sit down with me even for 1 hour to think about what they want their arc and story to be. They have no interest in interacting with one another. And yes, I've said all of this and way nicer things about my expectations and what's fun for me as the DM, and I'm just not having fun. I feel crazy for just wanting to drop a whole table, but I feel like a babysitter, a jester, or a void filler more than a person also telling a collaborative story. Damn. Man, OP. That's so rough.
It is rough, and it's all about level of commitment.
Yes.
Like, there's a bunch of people who would be totally fine with those players at the table because they're not as invested. And yeah, I don't know. You know me. You've heard my take on it a million times before. I just wish people would fucking care more about things they like. Like, caring about shit is cool.
Yeah.
Caring about things is important.
Yeah.
Like, having passion about things and trying your best is important.
Yeah.
Like, being nonchalant and being like, I don't care, whatever, and stuff like that is the most boring fucking personality trait I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I agree.
So, like, being passionate about something and giving it your all and being invested and, and thanking people and being thankful for the people around you.
I agree.
Is really cool. Like, the amount of times we stop a session and everyone's just like, thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do that, but it's just so nice that you do. And I don't expect it. And the week that they don't say that, I'm not like, oh man, they hated the session or anything like that. But it's just so nice to be like, oh, what a cool fight. It's like, thanks.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you. Like, it was cool. Yeah. And the thing is, you made it cool as well.
I do think OP kind of has a point. Like, is this a society problem? Is this a D&D problem? I think both, honestly. Like, and I agree. Caring about things is cool. And it's okay if D&D isn't your passion. It's totally okay if you don't put the same amount of effort or the same amount of consideration into your character, as long as you're turning up and you're having fun and you're being respectful and you're appreciating your dungeon master. God, it's absolutely devastating to hear. Like, when the time's up, people just leave. They run. They run out the door. They don't linger. They don't say thank you.
Away,
There's no feedback. The 3 of the players don't refuse to sit down and talk about it. Like, I think that's the very bare minimum. At the very 100%. Least, the bare minimum is being grateful for your dungeon master and saying thank you. I think
spent hours
and yeah, and this is definitely a terrible match for dungeon master versus player. This dungeon master, OP, I don't know if you'd be watching, but you need a set of players who care just as much as you. Not even just as much. There's a chance maybe no one will care just as much as you because it's your world and your story. But you need players
who care.
Totally. And it's not your fault, DM, that these players don't care. It's also it's also one of these things where it just sounds like it's a different match of play styles as opposed to anyone being right or wrong in the situation. Although I will say it's wrong to not thank your dungeon master.
Yeah, it is wrong to not thank your dungeon
It's wrong
master.
to have no appreciation and kind of you put the act on to get into the game, and then as soon as you're in, it's like, oh, well, I don't have to try anymore.
I don't care now.
Like, that's so rude.
So rude.
That's so rude.
So annoying as well.
And I could talk forever about how society has changed and how I don't know the ages of these people, but especially the younger generation who kind of grew up through COVID. Who grew up through COVID, and them some of their like most what's the word, like forming years were lost to COVID, and people have really lost social skills. Society as a whole has lost social skills since lockdown and since the pandemic. The world has changed since 2020, and unfortunately one of the side effects is people not giving a fuck anymore and people being rude as fuck.
Like, there's some things that is, like, in my opinion, there are some things that you shouldn't give a fuck about. You shouldn't give a fuck about what people think about you.
Yeah.
Like, you be you unabashedly. You be you 100%. You be you to the fullest degree that you can be you. And don't give a flying fuck what anyone thinks about you. Like, you should do that because that's the way you should live your life. But you shouldn't be, I don't care about, like, trying my best. I don't care about, like, caring about other people and stuff like that. That is we need some humanity sometimes, man. We need to care about this dungeon master who's just sat down at their PC and spent hours like thinking of this session and thinking about this law and thinking about this campaign, probably days and days and days worth of time thinking about this campaign for you to experience and to not care and to not thank and to not be appreciative,
to not even try. It feels like that, at least, to not even try.
It's just, in my opinion, like, not good enough.
I'm looking for icebreaker questions to try and connect the group, but for a group of people who haven't asked me a single fucking personal question, like, that feels awful.
It feels bad.
That feels absolutely awful. And DM OP, if you're watching, please don't play with these people.
Get in our Discord and run for our
community. And I think that's it. It's like there are so many people, OP, who would appreciate you.
Die for this
so
game.
Many people who would be exactly, play styles aside, right? So many people who would appreciate the work that you put into your game and will try their best to turn up for you in the way that you expect. You know what I mean? And the same for these players. There will be a dungeon master who's very low commitment, who doesn't mind. Like, there's the right group for each of these people. You just have to find them.
Yeah.
And I OP, please don't let this turn you off of D&D or TTRPGs in general. Like there is a table for you. 100%. There's
players out there that would die for this game. 100%. They would give a lot to be in this game.
Yeah,
they would love it, and they would give you exactly what you wanted in return.
Yeah.
Start caring more.
Yeah, I agree.
Start caring about things more.
I agree.
Caring's cool, man.
I agree. I completely agree. Caring is really, really, really cool. This is the second to last because the last one's really short.
Okay.
So, this one. I'm not laughing. This is a serious one. The title is, how do I get my villains' monologues without interruption? Up until recently, I've been okay with interruptions to some dialogue and speeches because they've all been from minor villains or random NPCs that didn't really matter. Unfortunately, my players recently went up against a beloved NPC who betrayed them, and I couldn't get his very important monologue through. The minute they realized that he had turned evil and betrayed them, they all immediately jumped him and started taking actions while ignoring his speech, which had clues that they needed, as well as explaining why he turned evil, which they did ask later why, by the way. The interruption has not been a problem, but since we are in the last few fights of the campaign, some of the major villains have some important things to say, and I'm worried my players will just attack first, ask questions after. Short of immobilizing them and silencing them, how do I get my villain speech across? I can't exactly ask them to be quiet and not interact at all, since not only does that single out 2 or 3 of them in particular, but it also defeats the purpose of roleplay. I'm looking for any suggestions, since I let it go on too long without addressing it.
Yeah. So what you need to do is something called cutscene mode, essentially. And you need to tell your players, like, when cutscene mode is activated, and you can activate it however you want. You can literally say cutscene mode activated if you want. Yeah. You can just put a little flag up. You can put something on your initiative tracker to just let everyone know. You can
literally, when your players go, can I do this? You just go, give me a minute.
Just give me 1 second.
Give me a minute, and then you can get onto anything you want.
So it's like some things in the game narratively will be better for everyone if we just let them happen.
100%.
Some things you just need to hear the monologue, and then we can go into any actions and stuff like that afterwards. And this is something that I learned in my second campaign.
Yeah, and I think this is the exact thing you were talking about earlier.
This is the exact thing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of other things I didn't like about that campaign, but it was more about the way I was like, this is the narrative and this is where we're going. And if we were veering off course, I was struggling and that's how I learned how to be a very loose dungeon master. But basically, I was exactly this. I was trying to just get a monologue out because there was some really important information that they were going to gain by listening to the monologue, and I could tell they weren't listening. Yeah, it wasn't that they weren't listening. They were desperately trying to.
We were panicking.
Do something to stop her to take this item off her that she had.
Like, the BBEG anger boda, she basically was hidden amongst us this whole time. Yeah. And she revealed herself, and we had something that she needed to complete her plan, and she took it. And we were like, oh no. We panicked. We blind panicked and just started doing things without realizing that you needed us to listen to you.
Yeah. So it got about halfway through, and I was like, okay, you've tried enough things now that haven't worked.
Yes.
Now is the time just to listen.
Yeah.
And you did. Yeah. And you listened. And then I got through the whole monologue and stuff like that. And from this point on, every single time I need those things to happen, every single time I need because look, we all love a villain monologue.
Yeah.
Because they're going to give away some stuff that they maybe shouldn't because they think they've already succeeded. Yep. They're going to maybe give you valuable context. Yep. There might be a really cool reveal and the players want to hear it. So what you just need to do is, if they try and interject, just be like, give me 1 second. We're going to get to you afterwards. You're going to get your chance. They're just going to finish this monologue. This is happening all in like a couple of seconds. And then you're going to get to
I also think a fun thing to say is like, just give me a second. You might change your mind.
Yeah, something give me a second. Like that,
you might want to hold on to that for a second.
You might just want to hear this.
Yeah, you might want to hear this first.
Like there's in my players now know in my game, there's certain when bad guys are speaking, they want to listen because there's going to be something they want to hear.
Totally.
But also, if there's anything they want to do, I'll let them do it as soon as it's over. Yeah. As soon as it's finished, as soon as like my monologue is done, you're gonna get your chance. Yeah. Just let me say this thing.
Totally. Yeah.
So that's what you need to do.
Yeah, 100%. It's seriously OP. It's again OP. I don't know if you're watching. I just thought this was a interesting topic, but
it's something that pretty much every dungeon master.
I think this is a canon event.
Then there's some monologues that are less more about. There's like the reveal of, oh my god, I've betrayed you. Yeah. And then it's more like a back and forth.
Yes, yeah, of course.
That's not so much something that doesn't need to be interrupted. Yeah. If it's like a two-way conversation between the players and the dungeon master, then that's something that can just be free flowing.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Seriously, all you got to say is just, hey, look. Coming up, there's some big speeches, and I want you to hear them because it's important for you to hear them. So, like, just bear with me, and like, I promise, like, trust me, like, you'll be able to do whatever you want after you hear them out. But maybe you want to hear them out, you know?
Just imagine, just say to your players, just imagine you're playing Dark Souls, and you've just walked into the boss arena, and the boss has just landed, and then you hear Margaret go, foul tarnished.
Yeah.
And it's like you're gonna get your chance to beat the ever-loving fuck out of Margaret.
Yeah, but just after
in
this.
a second.
Yeah, after this. Yeah.
As soon as this is
done. Totally. Yeah. Now the last one before we get onto the art. It's so stupid.
Go on.
It is so stupid. And the title is just a guy I met pronounced paladin like Aladdin. Do you want anyone you
Paladin?
know? Do you or anyone else you know say it like this? Because I've never heard this before, and I would like to point out English is his first language. And I also want to point out me as Margaret, like I am not laughing at someone's pronunciation of things. Like I completely understand that.
Especially if it's their second language.
Yes, but
like,
look,
Paladin. Paladin goes crazy, by the way.
Paladin does go hard. Like I saw this title and I was like, I have to click on it.
How can I not put that in?
I have to click on it, and then I read the comments, and I shouldn't have. It's like pronouncing popsicles like it's a Greek philosopher. Pops. Oh God, how would it be?
Popsicles.
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 Popsicles. Popsicles. Popsicles is fucking crazy, man.
So hard.
Paladin is wild.
Popsicles. Aristotle pronounced like Chipotle. Aristotle. I have so many of these.
Reel them off.
Aristotle. I like pronouncing Penelope like antelope and vice versa. Penelope. Is that what it would be? Penelope.
Next time I meet a Penelope, I'm hitting them with a
Penelope.
Penelope.
And then Penelope like antelope. And then antelope like Penelope. And Antelope. Man, it's so much harder reversing out loud.
Rock hard.
I had a coworker named Caroline that I called Carolini. Carolini. She did not find it as funny as I did.
Like tortellini.
Carolini. Or pronouncing telephone like Persephone. Telephony. And then the last one is just, today I learned I'm pronouncing Aladdin wrong. How are you pronouncing Aladdin?
Aladdin.
Paladin. Aladdin. Popsicles goes hard.
Popsicles goes crazy.
Popsicles is my favorite.
Aristotle, or whatever it was.
Chipotle, Aristotle. Popsicles.
Paladin. No. What is it?
Paladin and Aladdin. Paladin. I love coming to Reddit and being like, the guy I met pronounced Paladin like Aladdin. And just being like, anyone else heard this before? I've never heard bamboozled.
I've never heard anyone.
Paladin. And then the person being like, I'm pronouncing Aladdin wrong. Aladdin.
Sounds like a completely different movie.
Yeah, I know, doesn't it? Anyway, that was just a stupid little one. That was just a stupid little one I had to put in. Now it's time for the art. If you didn't know, at the end of these episodes, we'd like to either feature some art or a small business. And this one is, the title is A Physical Job Board to Hand to My Players. And it is indeed just a little corkboard that this DM's made, and they've gone and like made tiny little
like job notices.
Yeah, and there's like a missing one, a help needed, a notice, something about sharpening stones, like an actual map to like the town, something about another missing poster, and I think that's so fucking neat.
I am envious of all the dungeon masters out there who love to do the physical props.
Totally, I agree.
Because I would love to do it.
Yeah.
I'm first of all not crafty enough.
You're crafty.
I'm not crafty. There's many things that I am, but crafty just isn't one of them. That's fine. I know my strengths, and being a crafty person isn't one of them. Who just love to like make physical things. Yeah. Because I think it's really neat. I think it's really cute. I've done a couple of like physical things here and there over the years, but I don't do them very often. So I'm very envious of you. I think you do a lot.
Yeah.
You do a lot, and I like it.
The post reads is, I made this little job board to hand to my players for our next session when we enter a town. Instead of doing an in-depth verbal description of what they see as they enter, I describe how they approach a job board posted at the entrance of the town, and I let them ask questions and explore it dynamically. Kind of a fun idea. I would love to hear thoughts on how to incorporate this better or creative things to do with these little corkboards. I think you've done great. OP, I think you've done an incredible job. I think that's so much fun. I don't know a single person who wouldn't get excited upon seeing that.
No, 100%. What could be really cool is if you depending on how big the job board is, if the job board's like sort of like that big, you could actually write out the quests on a piece of paper and fold them up.
Oh yeah, tie them with like a little
and tie them bow. And then put like wanted on the front, and then the inside is the wanted quest.
That's really cool.
That's something like that could be really cool.
Totally. I think honestly, OP, that's fantastic. Again, don't know a single person who wouldn't.
Oh my god, I'd be
yeah, I think that would be so much fun. Like
I'd be over the moon.
Having like actual physical tactical things, I think is so much fun. I love that. And then the last piece of art is titled Human Lichen Blood Hunter, and look at this.
Yeah.
How hard does that art go?
See, I don't think I could possibly ever, in my mind's eye, make a blood hunter and not put them in one of those leather coats.
Yeah, same.
What's the point? To be.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're a blood hunter,
they need to be Van Helsing,
and you don't have a leather coat
with a high collar.
Yeah. What you do?
Yeah, I agree. No, seriously.
You're playing. You actually get a debuff.
Yeah, you're playing it wrong.
You get -1 to all of your stats if you don't have the coat.
Yeah, I agree. And but like the big clawed hand, and like the big sword on fire, and I love the way that this artist has shaded it.
That's obviously the right on the weapon.
Oh, sick. The shading, it's like I don't even know how you would describe it, but the shading is just like lines, and it's like comic book almost. Fucking cool. Like I love this style so much. And the post reads, "Hello everyone, I hope you like this commission I did for a blood hunter. Nicola was once a child slave rescued by a morally ambiguous group of warriors. They raised him and trained him. When he came of age, he partook in a blood ritual underneath the glow of a full moon. Unfortunately, the ritual did go as planned, seeding him with a dark hunger, a beast. Typical blood hunter stuff, really. There is more to his story, but he is not my character, and thus I do not have it all. If you like this style, or you would like to have your character drawn by me, you can DM me on here, on Reddit, and their username is Above the Fuzz, or check out my socials. On Instagram, they are w.goodby, and on Blue Sky, they are William Goodby. We'll leave all the links. We'll put all the links below.
Go and check them out.
But the commissions are open. Yeah.
If you don't want to hit them up for any commissions, just make sure you go like the socials.
Yeah, just go.
It does so much for artists.
Seriously, it does.
By just like clicking that link in the description, sending them a follow.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really, really important to do that for people, because like growing people's social media, especially for artists, that is their biggest tool.
Totally, 100%.
That they can use.
Yeah, absolutely. So please go show them some love. Absolutely neat. What a good episode. So many fun things.
So many great talking points as well.
Yeah, I love these episodes.
I love these episodes.
A mix of kind of whatever.
Just like getting the general community's vibe, and just getting the general community's like sentiments and talking points of things that they've like encountered recently is really important. I think it's really cool.
I agree.
So I love that.
I agree.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And if you did, you better like this video. Mm-hmm. You better subscribe if you're not, and you better leave a comment. Saying wibbly wobbly.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Wibbly wobbly. All right. Yeah. Cool. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Then you better go into click an extra tab up top.
Yep.
Make sure this video ends.
Yep.
The algorithm. Mm-hmm. Type in twitch.tv/eldritchpodblast.
Yeah.
And then come and talk to us.
Yeah.
On Twitch
we're live right now.
Don't
know what we'll be doing, but we'll be hanging. Definitely. We'll be hanging out. Yeah. We'll be chilling.
So come and do that. And then if you want to, consider joining our Patreon. Consider becoming a YouTube member. You get 2 extra streams per month, an advice stream and a roundtable stream where we talk about our actual play Ascension of Farador with the whole cast and the crew. So, yeah. Anything else?
No, we gotta go.
I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you, even though he's just been out there the whole time.
He has.
We're gonna see you on Monday. Bye.
And once again, another huge thank you to our patrons and our YouTube members, and a huge shout out to our entity tiers.
Hoops,
Ariel,
Tula,
Runarian, Maddie,
Luna,
Teddysaurus,
Caspian,
J-Spot TX, Dallin M,
Sleepy,
Joe Dragonlord 2,
Alistar,
Lawkeeper Society,
Ricky B,
Catherine,
Fauskin,
Azuriel,
Panda Queen Plays,
Xylo Boy,
Lucas Iapetus,
Luna River,
Crestomancy,
The Tacos Are Here,
Hairy Godfather,
Rain Anana,
Scrimbles,
CJ Chantel 1313,
Keplin 1000,
Pretend It's You Ace, Dana,
Captain Hades,
Sloby 1,
Amelia A,
Rebecca K,
Banoffee Spy,
Tears of the Sun,
BH,
Crumley,
Dink Twin,
Light of Hearts,
Nathan W,
Timbo,
Melosaurus Rex,
The Nerdy Dreamer,
Stephen R,
Simple Gin,
Danny Lee Phantom. Spiritual Rogue, Brit, M. Rule the Board, Jordan SC.
Thank you all so much for the support. You have no idea how much it helps.
And if you too would like to become a patron or a channel member here on YouTube, click the link in the description or the join button down below.